The internet is an absolute shock. Wang Yibo's family has just made the boldest move yet, personally inviting Xiao Zhan into their home. What happened next left fans in tears. It started with an unexpected car ride. Xiao Zhan, dressed in quiet elegance, arrived at the Yibo residence under intense privacy. But this wasn't just a social visit, this was the moment fans had long waited for. Witnesses say the emotions were overwhelming. An embrace at the gate. A red box in hand. And Wang Yibo's parents waiting inside, not with hesitation, but with open arms. One insider says the family welcomed Xiao Zhan as one of their own, and that Wang Yibo himself thanked them for accepting the person I love. Is this the sign of something much bigger? Are we seeing the beginning of forever for Yibo and Zhan? Stay tuned as we uncover what this powerful moment means, not just for them, but for fans around the world. Because when love speaks, the world listens. The internet exploded into chaos this morning when Xiao Zhan was spotted entering Wang Yibo's family estate under extremely tight security and with visibly emotional eyes. What made this even more shocking? This wasn't a work meeting. It wasn't a casual visit. This was a full-scale family introduction, and fans can't stop talking. It all began when rumors circulated that Wang Yibo's parents, long known for being private and conservative, had finally invited Xiao Zhan for a private dinner. Many fans believed the invitation was symbolic, a blessing of sorts, a quiet acknowledgement of something much deeper than friendship. When Xiao Zhan arrived, media outlets were stunned to see him carrying a traditional red box, commonly used in Chinese engagement ceremonies. Eyewitnesses described Yibo waiting by the gate, visibly nervous, pacing until Xiao Zhan stepped out of the car. And then, the two embraced, right there, in front of cameras. Inside the house, things got even more emotional. Family members were seen welcoming Xiao Zhan with warm smiles and affectionate gestures. A close source who claimed to have been present revealed that Yibo's mother even addressed Xiao Zhan as our other son. The dinner was long, heartfelt, and reportedly filled with laughter and tears. At one point, Yibo stood up and thanked his parents, saying, "Thank you for accepting the person I love." The moment this line leaked online, fans completely lost it. Social media platforms went into frenzy mode, with trending hashtags such as hashtag Xiao Zhan family approved and hashtag Yibo and Zhan forever breaking records. Fans flooded comment sections with emotional reactions, expressing support, joy, and overwhelming love for the duo. Some wrote, "This isn't just a moment, it's history. We've waited years for this kind of confirmation. I'm crying. True love always wins. Is something bigger on the horizon? An engagement? A joint statement? Or perhaps an official confirmation of their relationship?" One thing is certain, Wang Yibo's family has spoken without saying a word. And Xiao Zhan? He's no longer just a guest. He's family now. As the night progressed at the Wang family estate, something shifted in the atmosphere. The initial excitement and heartfelt warmth gave way to a deeper emotion, one that hinted at something far more significant than just a family dinner. After dessert was served, the room grew quiet. Wang Yibo, who had been unusually quiet all evening, suddenly stood up. His hands were slightly trembling, and his eyes locked onto Xiao Zhan's. The energy in the room changed instantly. Yibo's father, who had kept a composed and formal tone until now, smiled knowingly. His mother gently placed a small red velvet box in Yibo's hand, one that hadn't been there before. Gasps filled the room. Everyone watched in stunned silence as Wang Yibo walked over to Xiao Zhan, got down on one knee, and slowly opened the box. Inside was a platinum band engraved with a phrase only they understood. "Our forever." "Xiao Zhan," Yibo said, his voice cracking ever so slightly, "I've waited so long for this moment. We've survived storms, rumors, separation, and silence. But through it all, my heart has always belonged to you. Today, in front of my family, our family, I want to ask, will you marry me?" Xiao Zhan was frozen for a second, tears already brimming in his eyes. The room was still. His lips trembled before he nodded and whispered, "Yes. 1,000 times, yes." The room erupted. Yibo's mother pulled them both into a hug. His father clapped firmly, showing quiet approval. Staff and close friends who had been secretly watching from the hallway cheered, and someone began clapping, and then everyone did. Photos were taken, toasts were made, and the entire evening turned into an impromptu engagement party. Red lanterns lit up the garden. Fireworks exploded in the sky. It was no longer just about family, it was about a new beginning. Fans who caught the leaked footage online lost their minds. This is real life. I'm crying in the club. We've shipped them for years. Now it's officially happening. Their love defied everything. And now, it's blessed. Major fan pages changed their profile pictures to a screenshot of the moment Yibo knelt down. Within hours, the internet was buzzing with speculations. Would they hold a private wedding or go public? Would they share more photos? Would this be the start of a new chapter in celebrity love stories? But most importantly, fans rejoiced not just for the romance, but for the courage, the bravery to love freely and openly, with the world watching. This moment would be remembered not just by the fans, but by history itself. The air in Beijing buzzed with rumors. After the emotional proposal, fans thought they'd seen it all. But no one expected what happened next. Wang Yibo's mother, usually private and rarely in the public eye, but what was captured in those photos shocked everyone. Yibo's mother, gently placing the red box in Xiao Zhan's hands, and saying, "The family welcomes you. It's time you came home." Inside the box? A golden family bracelet, traditionally gifted only to family members who are about to marry into the Wang lineage. The internet exploded. This is huge. They're treating Xiao Zhan like a prince. This isn't just love, this is legacy. But there was more. Wang Yibo's father, a quiet, influential businessman known for avoiding entertainment news, publicly acknowledged Xiao Zhan for the first time at a business gala later that evening. When asked about the bracelet and the public invite, he simply smiled and said, "My son knows what love is. He chose right. That's all I'll say." With that, Xiao Zhan was officially part of the Wang family. The couple was invited to the ancestral home, an estate built more than 70 years ago, filled with history, ancestral portraits, and sacred ceremonial grounds. For someone to be welcomed there was more than symbolic, it was a rite of passage. Photos soon leaked of Xiao Zhan dining beside Yibo's parents, laughing with Yibo's cousins, and even helping Yibo's grandmother prepare dumplings in the traditional kitchen. Every frame captured a man no longer treated as a celebrity, but as a beloved family member. Fire what made fans cry. A leaked video clip showed Wang Yibo's grandmother, visibly emotional, as she clasped Xiao Zhan's hands and whispered, "Thank you, for making him smile again." The comment section broke down. "I can't believe this is real. This is the healing love story we all needed. From the untamed to this? I'm crying." But behind the joy, Xiao Zhan was overwhelmed. That evening, he was overheard saying, "I never imagined I'd be accepted like this. I always thought I'd love him quietly, from a distance." But they opened their arms. As the luxury car carrying Xiao Zhan pulled up to the sprawling Wang family estate, the air was heavy with anticipation. Crowds had gathered quietly outside the gated compound, cameras in hand, phones live streaming, trying to get a glimpse of what many fans were calling the most anticipated moment in Chinese entertainment history. The gates opened slowly. Xiao Zhan, dressed in a traditional jade green changshan, stepped out with poise, but even he couldn't hide the nervous glint in his eyes. Waiting at the entrance was Wang Yibo's entire family, lined up in ceremonial style, with Yibo himself standing at the front, wearing a dark silk robe accented with subtle gold embroidery, a symbol of lineage, tradition, and honor. And then, it happened. As Xiao Zhan approached, Yibo's father stepped forward, breaking tradition. With both hands, he held out a red silk scroll, bowing slightly as he said, "Welcome, Xiao Zhan. Today, you do not enter as a guest, but as our own." The moment was nothing short of cinematic. Inside, the estate had been transformed. Lanterns flickered softly, calligraphy hung on the walls bearing inscriptions of peace, unity, and love. At the center of the courtyard, an ancestral altar was prepared. This wasn't just a dinner, it was an honoring ceremony. As the ritual began, Xiao Zhan was invited to burn incense at the family shrine, signifying his acceptance into the Wang bloodline. Tears glistened in Yibo's mother's eyes as she watched him kneel, his hands steady, respectful, and humble. And then came the final moment that shocked every fan watching the leaked clips online. Wang Yibo held Xiao Zhan's hand and publicly addressed the family. "This man has stood by me through storms, silence, and spotlight. You've accepted me as your son, now I ask you to accept him as your own." His grandmother, who had not spoken publicly in years, stood up slowly, walked to Xiao Zhan, and placed a white jade ring on his finger. A Wang family heirloom passed down for generations. The cameras hidden in the corners of the courtyard caught the emotional tremble in Xiao Zhan's lips as he whispered, "I never thought I'd find not just love, but a home. This feels like a historical drama, but it's real life." I watched the clip 10 times and still cried. They were soulmates in the Untamed, but this is beyond fiction. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe and turn on your notification bell for more updates on your favorite celebrities.